17 years ago, Iran's Islamic revolution took the world by surprise. A decade later, when its leader, the Ayatollah Khomeini, died, his body was almost crushed by 10 million mourners. It was probably the biggest funeral in history. Today, his followers are still lining up to weep, give money, and kiss his holy shrine. Today, Iran's biggest city, Tehran, is still dominated by images of revolutionary Islam, glaring ayatollahs and black-shrouded women. But though few say it openly, there's a growing consensus that the revolution that promised so much has failed to deliver.
They started the limitations by the dress code, especially for women. And it all started with the government organizations, and little by little it came into everyday life.
Before the revolution, Shireen Samir was a university lecturer. Now she avoids politics, translating art books from Persian to English.
Men and women were always together before, not allowed anymore. At the university, the boys and girls are now separated. No integration of men and women anywhere is allowed unless women are fully dressed in Islamic dress code.
1400 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad told his followers to keep their women hidden behind a curtain. Some say he did it to stop them from looking at his own wives. Nowadays, in modern Iran, hijab, from the Arabic word for curtain, is compulsory. Even if it's just a scarf and a coat, no woman can go outside her own home without being totally covered. Women also aren't supposed to wear makeup or flashy jewellery. And everywhere you go, there are constant reminders. Good hijab means dignity.
A hijab is only a limitation. And when you're limited in your movements, you become limited in your thinking and in your mind. I think they go side by side.
In Iran, everything is for men. Even the men know it. Like, and sort of they can go out any way that they want to, and they're not bothered that much that we are.
Layla, Roya and Rosa are well off and well educated. Like more than half the country's population, they were born after the revolution. For them, revolutionary struggle is simply history. The struggle now is to have fun. At home, they look like teenagers anywhere. But as soon as they go out, they have to, by law, cover everything except their faces.
It's really bad for girls because it's really hot. We can't do anything, and then we are always bored. Like boys, they have stuff to do. They can go out skate, and they can do lots of stuff. But like girls can't do it. Like they want to ride a bicycle, they can't do it.
It's the beginning of the weekend. The girls may have to look Islamically modest, but they're still going out on the town, to the street where the boys are cruising. Izzard and Mike are both 19.
It's a Thursday night. It's like the Saturday night of, America or Europe, And basically the streets are busy and all the teenagers are out, either with their cars or just walking in the streets with their friends to find some girls or something like that.
So the thing is here, when people are held back from each other, boys and girls, opposite sex, they have nowhere to see each other. So they come out places like this. And every place in the city has its own place for a different type of kids. This street is for the rich kids. So when they come out with their cars.
The aim of the game is to spot someone you like and give them your phone number on a piece of paper. The challenge is not to get stopped by the revolutionary police known as the baseeji. Once the volunteer fighters for the revolution, there are now more than 100,000 baseeji. Their job is to enforce the rule of the mullahs.
They're basically looking for if you pick up a girl, or if you go by another car and you switch phone numbers and talk with each other and interact. That's what they're basically looking for.
Back home, it's takeaway pizza, soft drink and boys and girls.
Pizza good?
The baseeji aren't supposed to come inside people's houses, but they do. And even in private, it takes some courage to complain. Not long ago, Layla's brother Yusuf was beaten up because he and Layla were seen walking home from school together.
Me and my sister was walking home from school. A young baseeji stopped us, and I started to go. I said, she's my sister, and he punched me in my mouth.
Nearly every Iranian seems at some time to have been stopped or arrested.
They caught me at a party about 2-3 years ago. It was in Qaytariya around here, and it was winter. It was like raining, and the park was really muddy. And they got us. There were like 15 guys. We were all Iranians because they let the foreigners go. And they caught us, and they're like, I don't know, and they were like telling us to, you know, roll on the ground and do push-ups and things like that. And then sometimes, you know, punched us and things like that, and swore at us, which was pretty frustrating, but you can't do anything about it.
Just south of Tehran, Qom is Iran's holiest city, the home of the mullahs. It's a town where you won't see a single strand of female hair. In fact, for women, anything less than a chador, basically a black sheet, is considered immodest. It was here that Khomeini studied to become an Ayatollah. Today, hundreds of his followers spend up to 30 years to do the same. These potential Ayatollahs don't have much time for the idea that forcing women to be covered might be limiting their freedom.
بنابراین مثلا حکومت عدل، حکومت که سلامت جامعه رو میخواد، یاد بیم خانم میگه که خانم شما الان روسری تو بر میداری، موات آشکار میشه، این هیچ فایده ای برای شما که نداره، هیچ جامعه رو هم خراب میکنه، جوانان رو تحریک میکنه و این جامعه از حالت سلامتی بیرون میاد.
حجاب به عنوان حفظ فرهنگ ایرانی تنها نیست. ذات زن اینی که خودش را حاضر در مقابل غیر بپوشونه. حالا این به وسیله یک سری فرهنگا میتونن این پوشش رو از زن بگیرن. فطرت زن این رو میطلبه که خود رو در مقابل غیر بپوشونه و خودش رو حفظ بکنه.
It's a simple argument. Rape, crime and corruption in Western society are all caused by uncovered women.
حجاب اصلا کلا مهمه، یعنی چه فرهنگ ایرانی باشه چه غیر ایرانی باشه، چون حجاب اصلا کلا برای حفظ خانم ها دختر هاست.
The fact is that many ordinary women agree. Covered, segregated and happy to sit in the back of the bus, many women feel safer. Some say it's simply tradition. It's Westerners, they told me, who seem to be obsessed by how women dress.
اون چیزی که هست این هست که همیشه مردها در هر جامعه‌ای امکان و فرصت رشد بیشتری رو داشتن. ما الان بایستی سعی کنیم در نظام اسلامی و این سعی رو هم کردیم که فرصت‌های بیشتری رو برای زنها فراهم بکنیم تا اون گپی که و اون شکافی که بین زن و مرد وجود داشته به نفع مردها، این شکاف کم کم به تدریج از بین بره و زنها هم پای مردها قرار بگیرن.
Mazia Daschadi is a gynecologist and one of a handful of women members of parliament. She says the revolution has been good for women, and she'll readily quote you the figures. 20% of Iran's doctors are women. So are a third of the medical lecturers. Nearly half of all university students are female. But ask her about hijab, and it's lost in the translation. It isn't a matter of freedom or discrimination, she says. It's simply religion.
مدارس ابتدایی یعنی ما زمینه رشد زنها و دختر بچه‌ها رو در کشور فراهم کردیم و فکر می‌کنیم که یکی از مهمترین مکانیزم هایی که موجب پیشرفت در کشور میشه این هست که ما نیروی انسانی تربیت شده و با سواد و متخصص رو بکنیم داشته باشیم که این خودش از مسائل شروع اون هست.
باز فعل بعدیمون کنتم هستش ولی کنتم فعل معتل
At the local high school, every girl is properly and Islamically covered. At 16 and 17, they're educated and ambitious. And like girls in other countries, they seem to have done well without having boys in the classroom.
I think that girls are more serious than the boys in studying because the boys are thinking about, other things. They don't concentrate on their lessons very well. They just want to go out and play and have some fun, but girls are more serious.
But the revolution has given with one hand and taken away with the other. Iran's courts say the evidence of one man equals the evidence of two women. And these girls, once they're married, even if they become brain surgeons, won't be able to leave Iran without their husband's permission. Betar is celebrating her 6th birthday. By next year, no man outside her family will be allowed to see her hair or the shape of her body.
No matter how you're dressed, you can be either respectful or respected or disrespectful and not respected. And I think that the Islamic dress is more a social code, a political code, rather than a real value placed on people.
Betar's friends, just 1 year older, are already covered. To an outsider, it might seem that covering and segregating 7-year-old girls has more to do with taking away their freedom than saving them from crime and corruption. But Iran's a place that outsiders, with their own preconceptions, have consistently misunderstood. 17 years ago, few foreigners predicted the Islamic Revolution. Even fewer thought it would last this long. Iran did succeed in shaking off foreign domination. The growing suspicion is that it simply replaced it with homegrown control.